Hello, everyone. Today I feel like just taking it easy. Got some tea, some vanilla chai tea. I'd show you, but the cup's kind of full. And I wanted to tell a story about the time I went to Hibachi. It's a very special story, so make sure you got some tea too. It actually smells quite herbally, actually. But this was just made not too long ago, so I figured, hey, let's tell a story today. So it's just right. It's very. It does have a vanilla taste, but it's not as vanilla as you'd expect it to be. But it is still good, however. So I'm going to set this to the side. I'll occasionally drink out of it as I'm telling my story. But I want to tell the story about the time me and my friend, the Bug Man, went to Hibachi. But this is a different kind of hibachi story. I don't know if I've told this story yet or not. Please let me know down in the comments if I have. But this is the story of the time I got stoned and went to hibachi with my friend, the Bug Man. So, on a uneventful day that had happened, I think I saw my now ex-girlfriend at the time. I think we hung out for a little bit during that day. But other than that, it was rather uneventful. I was in the middle of trying to come up with a new sound for an album, and this is what I and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get stoned. I'm gonna come up with something funny. So I take a space guy that's about, I think it was like 30 milligrams of THC, and I I take a drink, or I don't drink it. Silly me. I eat it. It had a very strong, like, artificial watermelon flavor, and I didn't like it that much, so I kind of chewed up as fast as I could, and I swallowed it. And grabbed my guitar, down tuning it to this drop C sharp, and I started thinking of what I could do, and it hit me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the chords from Everlong and play it like Drive Far, Far Away, the Deftones song. And so I start doing that, and all of a sudden I get a text message from my buddy. And he's like, hey, I'm picking you up, I'm taking you to dinner. Uh-oh! 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 I'm like, okay, just know that there's something I'm gonna tell you when I get to the car. So my friend, he arrives not even 5 minutes later, texts me that he's outside, and I come to his truck, open the door, and it's like, buddy, I just took an edible, a really strong one too. And he looks at me and he goes, "This is gonna be a magical night." Excuse me. So we start driving. We use about a 10-minute drive to the restaurant we were going to. It's called Sapporo's. It's a hibachi restaurant. And that's when it kicked in. It kicked in about 5 minutes before we got there. So I'm losing it already, but it wasn't as strong as it could have been. So we sit down. We're sitting at where we get seated at the table, and we're just talking to each other. He's trying to keep me calm because I'm kind of losing it, not really losing it, but I could feel my head start pounding and just the elevation of my mood go up increasingly. So, as I take another drink here, we start ordering. I usually get chicken. I like the chicken and steak. I should have gotten double rice, but I didn't I didn't care. And as we're sitting there, I'm kind of losing it. I'm laughing. I'm laughing my ass off for no reason, but I managed to keep my calm a little bit. The hibachi guy gets there. He's greeting everyone. He's saying hello. And my buddy's allergic to shrimp, so they had to do all the fish stuff last. And then this one family comes up. They take their order, and it's this very aggressive man, this small boy, and this lady. And the small boy wouldn't stop staring at me. But anyway, as we're watching the hibachi guy do his thing, I am in awe. I am jaw dropped awe. It was like the first time I'd ever seen hibachi in my life. Even though it wasn't, it still felt like it was. Like the first time I really saw hibachi. And so, he starts doing the flame stuff and he goes, sake, sake. And he looks at me. Now, I'm not 21. But that didn't stop them from giving me sake, did it? So he starts squirting the sake in my mouth. I'm going, I'm trying to catch it in my mouth as best I can. And I do. I take one big gulp. He squirts it in my mouth. I go, gulp it down, and then it fills up in my mouth because I can't get my mouth to do what I want it to because I'm too stoned to get it to do that. Eventually, I have to stop and I take another really big gulp of sake. So this is the first sake. I know it's a spoiler alert, but this is the first amount of sake that they give me. So then they start cooking and he starts doing his thing. I am just jaw dropped to the floor, eyes wide open. I turn to my friend and I say, "This is magical. This is beautiful." And he looks at me and goes, "Dude, buddy, you are out of it." So, as I continue to drink, the food starts getting ready. And then they start doing, and so they give us our chicken and beef stuff. And then they start doing the shrimp. And the guy goes, sake, sake again? He looks directly at me again. He starts squirting the sake into my mouth, and I do the exact same thing again. So now I've had 2 large gulps of sake and a very powerful edible. And so I hadn't really eaten much that day, so this has been affecting me completely. This has been a terrible night, but it had been a great night all at the same time. So we start eating. We start eating, and chicken. It was one of the best pieces of chicken I'd ever had in my life. The steak, some of the best steak I'd ever had. The rice, well, hibachi rice is already some of the best rice you can get, but holy cow, I took a bite of that. It was like Remy eating the cheese and the strawberry at the same time. And as this is happening, they eventually give out the yum yum sauce, And I look at my friend and I go, "This is gonna be some of the best food I've ever had." And he looks at me and goes, "This is not the best food you've ever had." So I dip it in the chicken first in the yum yum sauce. I take a bite. I really was just Remy in that moment. And so my friend looks at me and he's laughing at me because I am just loving the food more than I normally would have. And he starts rubbing my back and it feels like knives scraping against my skin over my shirt. And I keep eating. I ate all my chicken and beef and most of the rice. And as we're sitting there, I'm head down on the table, just losing it. I could not stop laughing. The little boy that was there, he was looking at us in terror because he sees me head on, arms on my head, just losing it. I am shaking, I am laughing, and my friend is rubbing my back and he's going, "It's gonna be okay, man. It's okay, man. You need to calm down, man. We gotta get you out of here." And eventually, we get our check. I'm still losing it. Little boy is in terror. Dad is looking at me a little freaked out. And it was a beautiful sight, at least for me. So let me walk out. I am stumbling around, A, because I had sake, and B, because of the edible. Mostly the edible. Or the sake. You never know. And we walk out of the restaurant, and I get in this truck. Feels like the force of 1,000 angry Greeks pushing up against me as we start driving. And we were driving. He's playing some really heavy music, and I'm sitting there. I'm laid back, just. And eventually I started pinching my nose because it felt like my nose was trying to escape from my body, like that the cartilage that's here just tried to fly away. My big Jew nose tried to leave my body, and I was not having it. So, as we're finally, man, it's really hot in my garage right now, so sorry if I'm like rubbing my face. I'm just sweating real bad. It's real hot in here. We finally get home. He gives me a hug and he says, "You're gonna be good, man. Just go take it slow." I get home. It's like 9:30 at night. I walk in. My family looks at me and they're like, "What happened?" I had an amazing night, and they gave me sake. I'm gonna go lay down. So yeah, that was the story of me getting absolutely shit faced at hibachi. If you like this story and you want to hear more, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, see you next time.